Mike put this story in, not at the last minute, but it wasn't part of our spreadsheet. I think our detailed spreadsheet of stories that we use to in our highly produced podcast that you're watching. Um,
Where's
it's
that?
that Apple stores have begun selling an exterior door lock that can be unlocked by tapping an iPhone or Apple Watch. And it's one of those. It's a lock that you can kind of get in. Everything's tap to pay, tap to get in, tap to whatever these days. And this is a lock, which is kind of unusual, but I suppose makes sense. We're gonna have a little chat about it today because we had some thoughts. I saw a video, and Mike and I, unfortunately not John, are going to discuss it on today's not so critical update.
Digging into it is a lot less interesting than it sounds from the headline.
Yeah.
Like we've already got door locks that you can unlock with phone apps. What's
I didn't know that. But you know, here's the thing. The point at which I stopped becoming surprised by IoT devices was when I had to do some testing on internet connected sprinklers. That was I was just like, yeah, okay, whatever. That's none of it makes sense
yeah,
anymore
I
to me.
mean, there are people that go crazy with this, like what water quality tests in swimming pools that are Wi-Fi connected. We did
Fun.
beekeeping for a little while, and people have like sensors that go in the beehive to keep track of the health of the hive that are internet
Oh wow.
connected. Anything I mean, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 internet connected devices in my office that I can see from where I'm sitting right now, which probably I should be terrified by, but I don't care.
I don't. I've always wanted to come and visit you, Mike, but I'm not sure I do anymore because
Houses of
I just
privacy.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I don't know, man. I've actively
Wave
avoided
at
them.
the internet connected camera on your way in.
Yeah. Hi, Elon. Hi, Jeff, and well, I don't know. Um, I don't know, man. So IoT devices and credit cards are two things that I stayed away from in my life as much as I could, and I've been quite successful. But it's almost it's very hard. You have to like daily make an effort to both of those things, right? They're very seductive. That's the
Yeah.
problem. They promise you all these conveniences and it's so, oh, you know what, you can get credit of like £2,000, just boom, wow,
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah.
That seems much better than, but then you're in debt and you have a credit card,
We've
so
done a couple
it's
stories about the thermostats in houses being internet connected and remotely controlled by the heating companies.
seems so great until they cut you off,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's all these wonderful promises. What's our favorite saying? Every technology guy's utopian future is one step away from a dystopian nightmare, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This is why we can't have nice things, is because as soon as something nice comes along, it's just horrible.
And
Should we talk
this,
about this lock for a
well,
second? Oh,
it
sorry.
sounds no the lock sounds cool. Like if I had a lock that I could just unlock by tapping my phone, I'd love that. I mean, and really, is it any different than any NFC lock? If I get a key card at a hotel and tap that to open my hotel room, it's basically the same idea, right?
I suppose it is. Yeah, it's just not. Yeah, yeah, and it's Apple quality, right? It's got the kind of lovely sheen and finish and the kind of satisfying click and clunk and whatever.
Which for
So
$330, I guess you would want all
yeah,
that fit and finish, but
wow.
I don't know if it's worth that.
Oh,
Especially
geez,
as you
yeah.
pointed out, the downside.
It doesn't work very well as an actual lock. Yeah, so I forced Mike to watch the lock picking lawyer. His attempt at, well, not attempt, his cursory
Successful
examination of it as an
demonstrations
actual
of two
lock.
different
Yeah,
basic methods.
yeah, he does one called like bumping, I think it is, and he puts a little ridged piece of metal into the thing, and if you just run it backwards and forwards, then and you have something that's causing tension on the lock. You keep running it backwards and forwards, it will just click. It's a very basic technique because it doesn't require any skill whatsoever. And yeah, in a couple of seconds, he does it and repeats it again, I think. And yeah,
Yeah.
and then there's another technique as well he used. What's the second one?
I don't know. It's
The
just two
tension.
little picks
Oh
that he had.
yeah,
But
pretty simple stuff. And sorry.
Just that, like, it looks great. The fit and finish, like you said, it seems really good. It's solid. It's connected. You know, you can unlock it with the phone. It also has a key, but it's not great as a lock. Seems like kind of a flaw.
This was my problem when mobile phones came out. Like, they seemed to be great, and they were selling them as like cameras and MP3 players and calculators and task trackers and web browsers, but actual use as a phone was not that great. Why is it that phone calls are still shitty, by the way, and Skype and whatever is since the days of Skype, it's been better as VIP?
I mean, that's true, but now looking back, do you really care?
Well, I mean, it was inconvenient to have a phone that didn't work. The first time my phone crashed, I was just like, wow. Okay, we've reached a weird point.
But back then, we still thought of it as a phone that did all these other things. Like, we still call it a mobile phone, an iPhone, a digital phone, whatever. The number of times I use it to make a phone call or to receive a phone call is probably in single digits for a month. And even those I could do without most of the time.
Maybe that's what's going to happen with our locks. They're not going to be locks anymore. They'll be little calculators that will speak to you. It'll be an interconnected locks that will tell you, "Oh, you forgot your credit card. No, because that's going to be on the phone as well, isn't it? You forgot your keys. No, that's probably going to be on your keys going to be on the phone, right? Yeah. So you forgot your hat. I don't know. Yeah. It's cold outside. You forgot your hat, and then you get your hat, and your hat will say, "Don't forget to pick up milk." But then that won't happen because it'll be delivered. Jesus, what's
all your other examples we basically have today, essentially. NFC lets me unlock and start my car. NFC lets me tap my credit card. NFC lets us get into hotel rooms. Like, if all that's on your phone, that really is almost all you need.
Do you know, here's the weird thing. I never used the wallet until I lost my wallet. Like the wallet on my phone until I lost my physical wallet. Yeah, I actually do use Google Wallet, and I'm sort of slightly embarrassed to admit that, because Google are not great about privacy. But yeah, it's so convenient. I learned just today, that you don't actually have to have the Google Wallet open to be able to pay with your phone. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Is that a risk? That seems sketchy. Could somebody like steal a payment from you? Or do you have to do something?
I was wondering that. That was my first thought, was like, okay, if I'm just sort of wandering past someone and they've got a little NFC reader in it, I don't know how Google Wallet is set up, but
I assume you have to authorize a transaction, though, right? Like, do you have to take some action? You just swipe it over and that's it.
Yeah, it's tap to pay, and it's just like, it makes a noise, sort of, it vibrates and it makes a little noise, and I get a little notification come up. Like, I use one of those challenger banks. You know, they're just an app. They don't have a physical location. They don't have even a website that you can log into. It's just an app. And everything is kind of you create a virtual card there. I got a physical card as well, but everything is online. You can apply for mortgages with these people. Like, it's a proper bank, but everything is online. It's great. You know, all the stuff is categorized when it comes in, so it's automatically classified as like different types of payments, so I can see how much I spent on Ubers this month and that kind of thing. And you can have custom categories, and there's a thing where you can round up the amount that you pay and it goes into a savings account, and these kind of little features. So it's very cool. But yeah, it does pop up, and I don't know. It's convenience, man.
Yeah. So to summarize this story, it's Apple quality.
Sorry, Lux.
It's Apple quality. Yeah. It's Apple cost. And maybe uncharacteristically, it doesn't do the core thing that it's supposed to do super well.
But it's not made by Apple, though. Sorry.
Just sold by
Yeah, thanks for
Apple.
getting back to the story. Just sold on the App Store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
sorry, I went on a massive tangent there.
no, that's fine. We're at the end of the week. We'll have John back with us tomorrow. There's not a whole lot of depth to this story other than maybe don't buy this thing. But if you like the show, subscribe. But I think we have a lot of people, and I do this all the time too. I have channels that I watch over and over again, so they just show up in my feed but I'm not actually subscribed to them. So I have personally started making more of an effort to just subscribe to the shows and like shows that I watch. I used to just watch it and move on and whatever. But it really does help the content creators to do that. If you like our show, consider it. And we will be back tomorrow with John, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I guess we'll find out then. But right now, that's the plan. Peter, thanks for sticking with me this week.
Cheers, Mike. Cheers, guys.
See everyone tomorrow.
Miss you, John.